Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here with another quick reference Rise to War 2.0 commander guide. In this video we're talking about Cestaro, who is currently my favorite commander. I mean, the Nazgul are all very cool, and I actually have pretty much put my entire account into running Cestaro, so I'm enjoying him very, very much. We're going to talk about what skills to run on him, what gear to run on him from the gold through blue levels, as well as my thoughts on his relic, so stay tuned, that's coming up in just 1 second. Okay, so as was the case with Dane, who we did just earlier today, who is also on the spreadsheet. This will be linked down below. These are meant to be a quick reference starting point for those who are brand new to 2.0, which we all are, but those who really have not started thinking about the different stats and who to use them on. And if you're just lost in the sauce, this is meant to get you going in the right direction. I would encourage everyone to keep conversations going and learning, and there's going to be a lot more we get into, but as a starting point for those who just want the information, here it is. So starting out, and I did add a blue gear column. I added it to Dane's as well. Shout out to the comment section in the last video for referencing. Maybe need a little bit more help for the free to play. So I included kind of the best options there. There's not a lot to choose from, but this is in here now if you're interested in that. So starting out, we have the Obsidian Dagger, Grey Wizard Hat, Protection of Numenor, and the Fine Smoking Pipe. These are the highest focus items in the game, running accessories and weapons that also boost the commander attack. Again, for Cestaro, if you did not know, everything he does has to do with focus damage. If we click here on focus, it says affect the commander's focus, burn, and poison damage dealt. So we want to increase his focus as much as possible while also increasing his commander damage on his weapon and on his accessory. So that's exactly what we have going on there. Second options are Morgul Blade, Swan Helm, Great Blade of the East, and Signet of the Barrows, in that order. Again, like I said in the Dane video, I don't think it's worth chasing sets if you're going to really use less optimal gear. However, if you're still in the top 1 or 2 gold options, I do think it's okay to change. So if you could make a complete set and you use 3 in the top and 1 that's number 2, which is Signet's still great, that's fine. However, if you're going to run a blue item with your golds to complete a set, not worth it. Just don't worry about running a set. Again, for my Cestaro is not a great example, but for my Shadow, for example, I don't have a full might set, but I do have the kind of ideal pieces. And so running those gold strengthen up is better, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far, than chasing sets in that regard. So again, those are the top 2 gold options. As far as purples there, here as well, we have Carver, Bone Mask, Hunter Skin, and Harp as the number 1. Number 2 being the Elven Dirk, Trapper's Hood, Superior Hauberk, and Hithlane. Again, finding sets within those 1, 2 is fine. I will say, as you go down the scale, if you are brand new to the game, if you're free to play, whatever it is, maybe this is your 3rd formation you're running, and this could apply, by the way, to any focus damage dealing commanders, any poison damage dealing commanders, anybody that does elemental damage. This is kind of going to be the case for their gear across the board. So this could be very universal, although we will be covering all the commanders very soon. But I will say, the further you move down the list in terms of gear rarity, I think the more important sets become. 10% of extra damage from Lord of the Arcane is really nice, but not worth sacrificing the best items in the game. However, 10% Lord of the Arcane for blue items is pretty significant compared to the stats that you're getting from blue items. So the further down you are in the gear scale, the more I would pursue the best sets in the game. The best one for Cestaro, in my opinion, being Lore of the Arcane, followed by Perseverance. And I like Fortitude. Again, it reduces physical damage from commanders by 10%, and it's very much a commander. It's a commander damage meta right now, especially physical damage. So those are the 3 that I like, although if you guys have options, comment those down below. For any of these videos, by the way, if you have options or ideas or things, please share them. If there's some good information, I'll pin those. This is more information sharing than the know-all be-all, because nobody knows everything because it's brand new. So that is the elemental build here with skills. Now, if we go down a little bit further, you see we have the skill build. So first of all, we have 10 points into Lord of the West, then we have 10 points into Spellseeker, followed by 3 points into Ring Wraith. This is level 50 at R5, so the more respect you have, the more you can pump into them. So again, mine is Zenith 1, which is equivalent to R16, I think, and he's level 40. So we've got a little bit more to play with. I will say, on the note of Ring Wraith versus something like Spellseeker, the difference in damage just depends on how long the battle is going. So if you're doing tiles or you're fighting, you find your battles aren't going 10 rounds, something like Ring Wraith puts out more damage early, whereas these other ones really prefer to go the full battle. So if you're not going the full 10 rounds, potentially look at going into Ring Wraith before the other skills to get more damage out. But again, that starts getting a little bit more complex. But I just want to make that note. If you are seeing your Cestaro damage kind of lack, check how many rounds he's going. If he's only going 4 or 5 rounds, bumping Ring Wraith up will up his damage in the early rounds. So there's the skill build. There is the gear setup. Again, these are meant to be short and sweet, so I'm going to wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think and who you think we should cover next. And very, very soon, we're going to hopefully have every commander in the game covered. They'll have their own tabs down here, so you can see we got Dame, we got Cestaro, and there's a playlist on YouTube that these videos are in. You can hopefully just scroll through there and say, oh, I want to look at whoever it is, and pull that up for some kind of quick tips and references on this. Oh, one last note before I wrap up. Sorry, this is a little bit out of order, trying to get it done quickly. I'm just going to do a quick pass-fail on relics. Again, I will say, if you don't know, relics cannot be broken apart with hammers, so you are stuck with them. And if you reforge them, you do lose items. So relics are one of those things that I would be the most patient with and make sure you want. But I will say, I do like his relic. It's in terms of pass-fail, it gets a pass for me as being useful compared to someone like in my squad, like the Undying. Not a crazy fan of his. So in terms of just the pass-fail, if you're like, is it good? Especially if you get some focus rolls, if it goes 10 rounds, you're really increasing and ramping up the focus over time. I think it's a good piece. So his is one that I have. I like. It gets a pass for me, but want to try to include some relic conversation in these videos as well, just for those who are wanting a quick yes or no is even in the conversation. Because if it's a no, it's a very quick no. If it's a yes, it's still, I would make sure you understand what you're doing, because they are expensive and you're stuck with them for the time being. So just bear that in mind. But that'll do it for this one. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you very soon in the next video.